You know, I can be shouting people's names all day, but, you know, but there's certain people that we do shout out all the time. Durbo C, Knowledge, how you doing, Michael? I hope you're okay. Alchemist, Alchemist 83, Tobias, Peeking Through the Veil, Connecting the Dots, Peeking Through the Veil, and there's many more. Big shout out to Sheepu and Jen. Shout out to Steffi, to Deb, the Red Brick Chick, Patricia, another one. The list is getting endless, and as I say, all EEC Eagles, how you doing? We're taking it very easy. Part 1 of the Sunday Easy, Part 2 tonight with me, myself, James, and Fervent will be in tonight to close out the weekend with another show. Obviously, the guys couldn't get on last night. Dino was working late, and James had some technical problems, so they'll be eager beavers to show their evidence tonight. So it should be a very good show. Me myself, I'm not showing any of my evidence tonight. I'm doing something totally different. So please be aware, 10:30 PM UK time, the Sunday Easy Part 2. But that's for the future. And for the now, I'll just be reviewing the evidence I showed last night. This will go into the Facebook group. If you haven't joined the Red Brick University, please do. Also, Mounties and Melty Builders, join those Facebook groups. Fantastic groups, fantastic evidence, and it's only becoming bigger and bigger by the day. You'll have to, if you're new, just happened on the stream, you want to know what's going on, join the groups. Join the groups, because it is a hive of activity at the moment. Evidence flying in from every part of this melted realm. Oh wow! I'm not putting any links into this into the Sunday Easy. I don't do that. You know, anybody in Meltology will know the links. We've been posting them for a long time to other channels and other people, other Meltologists. And on that note, I want to just shout out all Meltologists who are working hard to research and bring the truth to the masses. It's not an easy job, because it's always at this moment, with all things, you have to go through the ridicule and the scorn of those who haven't got the minds and the perception to see what we see. So a big shout out to all you guys. And remember, like, share and subscribe. Share the link out. We need more feet on the Red Brick Road. We have to start really moving. And we do that by each one, teach one. You go and teach someone that you know. Sit them down and show them the Meltology Explained documentary. Show them a couple of the streams. Show them the evidence. And once they've seen that, they will have to wake up. Anyway, it's a Sunday Easy. We're doing the rare groove trick today. It's one of my favourite music genres. I like this old music. It just brings me back to my childhood. And it's very relaxing for a Sunday. This is why I normally play on a Sunday. I don't play reggae. I don't normally play rare grooves. This, what you're hearing now, that's what I normally play on a Sunday, because it's very relaxing. And I've been busy because my Sunday roast is in the oven already. Yes, it's already in the oven for later. I like to do my things early and then sit down and relax. So I hope you're all going to have a very relaxing Sunday. We deserve it. We worked hard all week. We work hard every night, as you see. You know, no other stream is like the chill out zone, and it's even going to be even more intense soon, because we're going to be going every night. We are going to be streaming every night. I know some other people, I'm not mentioning any names, but you would have heard this term before. Infinite streams. We now are starting to have the numbers, so we can stream every night with a host and a co-host every night, which is fantastic. So, you know, we're up in our level, we're up in the content, and we're up in our determination to bring Meltology forth, bring it to the masses. And you know what, guys, I know that the Eagle Eye Crew appreciate all the work we do, but we're hoping that the broader appeal will start to appreciate how hard we work, how hard we research, and our determination to be bringing this truth to everybody, wherever you are. Yes, yes, I know people like knowledge, man like knowledge will be saying, sorry about this, I'm just on my phone as well. Yeah, man like knowledge will be going, oh Spartan, come on, show the evidence, show the evidence. But we'll get to it, we'll get to it. I'm just trying to make sure, and so just let me make sure everything's running okay on YouTube, because they have, oh yeah, everything's good. Mr. E, how you doing? Good morning, my friend. I spotted you in the chat last night, great to see you. I hope you're okay, your day's blessed. You're in the Sunday Easy. Where are the boys and the girls? You know what, it don't matter if there's only one person in, I'm still going to do this stream. I'm still going to be showing you what I showed last night. Right, so I'm just going to back out of this and go back in. Now I know that's up and running, it's cool. I am just going to yeah, we're good. We are good. I'm just going to make sure my phone's got the link on, because then I know it's live and all good and it's all there. Yeah, so big shout out to James. I know he had technical issues last night, but you know, for the want of trying, you can't blame him. And you know, with these internet providers, they can drop your service in a second, and it always seems to take them an age to put it back. So hopefully James will be raring to go tonight, because I know he was raring to go last night. And you know, it's just unfortunate when these kind of things happen that you've got no control over. But James will be on fire tonight, and so will Fervent, because you know, Fervent, Dino the Machino. In fact, I've changed his name. It's Dino the Machismo Machino. That's him, Mr. Machismo. He takes it all in his stride. He puts up with our silliness anyway. That's why I love him, because he can be quite serious, old Dino, but when I get near him, he kind of turns into that little kid again. You know what I mean? I love it. We act like great big kids. And Davros is the same. How you doing, Davros? I hope you're okay. I know you're back out on the boat again. I saw you caught all them fish. I couldn't believe it. 12. You caught 12. Oh my days. My boy is very productive. So shout out to Captain Pugwash there out there in Australia. I hope you're doing okay, mate. And I'm so gagging for you to come back and show us what you found, because I know you took your camera and everything with you. So my day go, Davros, and we see you soon. This Eagle Eye crew is so expansive, it's everywhere. We're everywhere, and long may it continue, long may we grow, because with this growth we get more eyes, and with more eyes you get more opinions and more talking points, and that is how we're going to thrash out this X Factor event between us, not one person, but between us as a community. And you know, it's great. And the other thing about it, with having so many researchers, is we get different takes on stuff. Now, you know, Sheepu's got a take on it, Jen's got a take on it, I've got a take on it, Fervent's got one, you know, Knowledge has got his way of doing stuff. But it all just shows you that without this being, if this was some kind of put up job, we wouldn't have so many people being able to research it. We wouldn't have so many different types of evidence coming, you know, boots on the ground, drone footage, pictorial evidence, you know, historical evidence, you know, historical artwork. It's all there. It's always been there. The problem is that the inheritors have done a very good job in putting the smoke and mirrors up, and you know, sending people down the wrong road, proverbially. But hey ho, it's a case of unlearning what you've learned, taking on new programming, new evidence, and seeing the world the right way, which is, you know, you can't be bad. Yo, how you doing, Anne? Great to see you. Hope you're okay, sweetie. Hope your day is truly blessed. Anyway, I ain't shown no evidence yet. I've just been waffling. I tend to do that. I think to myself, I won't talk too much today, but then I end up talking. I did 3.5 hours yesterday because of, you know, the technical issues and that, and I was supposed to be the reserve. I had to come in and take the show over. It was just like another chill out zone, but bless James, he tried his hardest, and you know, when things are out of your control, you can't do nothing. You know, you have to sit there and go along for the ride. And you know, we try to keep it flowing because we know how important it is. And you know, we set our standard in the chill out zone for the way we want to do things. And you know, we started out timidly to start with, but now we're bouncing. And you know, I keep saying this: if you're not with us, please get out of the way of us, because we'll run over you. We will not physically, but we will run over you because we're too big. There's too many of us. We are the army. The army. The Meltology army. That's what we are. It's starting to feel like that. And you know, like with every army, you've got you know, you have your leaders and that. And I'm not saying I'm a leader. I'm not. I'm probably the furthest from a leader that you could ever have. But I lead by example. I lead by example in my humanity, and I lead by example in the amount of evidence and stuff that I bring, and you know, I just lead by example. And I'm not trying to be a leader. I'm just saying, look, you could do this too. If you're focused enough, you could do it. You could be out there doing boots on the ground. You could be posting up videos. You could be doing the stream. It's not hard. Me, I'm not. I've already been told I'm a mental midget, but look what this mental midget's doing. Look at what this mental midget's doing. Now, imagine if I was intelligent. Imagine if I was intelligent, what I could do if I'm a mental midget now. It's crazy. But you know, it's always other people's opinions. You know, my opinion of myself is very high. And you know, and the opinions of the ones I love and my family, and you know, and I class the Eagle Eye Crew as family as well, as we are. You know, it matters to me. You know, it matters to me what these people think of me. Everyone else, I don't give a shit. I don't live my life. I don't live my life in other people's thoughts or other people's opinions. But the opinions of my peers and my family are very important. And I'm sure if I start going off kilt or offline, starting to act stupid, my family will soon knock me back into shape, because I'm with them. If someone's doing some silliness, I'll be the first one to say, stop that silliness, mate. You make yourself look like a right idiot. But hey ho. Anyway, as I was saying, as Odin, if he's watching, or if he's watching on catch up, will probably be saying, come on Spartan, stop talking shit and show us the evidence. And I will. You know, I was speaking to Dino about the evidence, and I showed him a couple of pictures because he was looking at it on his phone on his way home from work, so he missed some of it. And I said, you need to really look at this evidence I've just posted up, and we will look at it again. You know, not so analytically because we don't need to, but just as in observations. Very good stuff. So I'm going to share the screen here. I won't start talking till I see it up on my phone. Here we go. Again, this is the Sunday Easy. This is the part of the week where we look at evidence. You know, I play some nice background soothing music, and I soothe you into a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Inspiring you to make time tonight at 10:30 to come back in for part 2 of the Sunday Easy, featuring Fervent Heat, Meltology's finest, and your one and only Spartan Red tonight, 10:30 UK time. Don't be late. Red cards will be issued. Oh man, red cards will be issued. It makes me laugh. You all, I mean, it's only the newbies who won't know about the 10:30, but for you lot who come after 10:30, man, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. Oh man, here we go. Anyway, here we go. 007 Golden Eye. My gaze never misses. My aim never misses. I'm always on point. This is why we have 007 in the visor, in the eyepiece. I only need one eye. I'm that good. I'm only joking. You know what? I never stroke my own cock, mate. I'll never do that. I don't like self-abuse, put it that way. I'm not in it for the fame, I'm not in it for ego or anything like that. I'm in it for you guys, waking people up. That's all I want to do, wake people up, inspire people, go out and have a look. Look in your own backyard, and look in your own house like Patty. Incredible, absolutely incredible. She found all that damage in her own basement and out in her yard where a barn used to be. So it is everywhere. It is, as we say, it is huge buildings melted down, and you know, it wasn't long ago. It wasn't long ago. Here we go. Part of this building is called Askewry. This is Askewry Castle, and you can see that the outside part of it here at the top, the bricks are all damaged and deformed. This is supposed to be red bricks, but underneath this is a shell. Look at the churned out nature underneath. The bricks have just churned out here. See the little pieces of bricks everywhere in here. And again, the carbon-14 scavengers everywhere. More expansive view. Again, clearly you cannot build these kind of structures in these kind of places. How did they do it? What kind of super technology allowed them to make huge buildings and put them in these odd locations, these very impossible locations, as we say, impossible builds, impossible location. You can clearly see the heat came from the bottom here, rising up, damaging the bricks, expanding the bricks. This is climbing all the way up and then it stops. This is low line, it's been totally mullered, totally done in here. You see there's a aperture here from part of this building here, but where's the rest of it? Sunk and melted, obviously. And the red is carbon-14 staining. Same place, different part of the car cell, it's a cell. It's a car cell. And look, this arch. Where's the rest of it? Where's the rest of the actual building that supports this arch? Gone, melted. Now the bricks are all heat damaged here. It's blocky here. It's definitely bricks, as you can see. And this is, look at the transition here from the churned out rock looking stuff to where it's supposed to be bricks. Here, how do you build this here? How do you get this transition point here? It's melt, heat damaged bricks is the only way. Why do mountains have bricks in them? Very simple question. Why does this mountain have bricks in it here? Look. See the bricks? This is bricks. This is churned out cooked bricks here. Rock curtaining over. That's why. Because it was a building and it was never a mountain. No such thing as mountains. The Sunday Easy. Made for just sitting back and just looking at the evidence and relaxing your mind. And we all know what tomorrow is. It's the worst day of the week, so let's make Sunday a good day. Let's make Sunday a relaxing day. And more churned out parts of this car cell. To see this red brick here is expanded. Look, it's rounded. Piece of red brick here in the distance here. More melted buildings. This is pockets of survival here on the A-frame of the melt here. And the water, of course, is from the irrigation systems that were filled up by damaged by the X Factor event. Again, more of the same here. I mean, look, you look at where these supposed car cells are. Right, look where these supposed car cells are. They always seem to be like this, stuck on a hill, stuck on the side of a mountain, or with a moat around them, and no one questions how they came to be there. They believe the narrative that someone came there at some ridiculous moment in time that didn't have the technology, they didn't have the money, they didn't have the know-how how to build these places, but there they are. These buildings are there. You know, these academics are asking you to believe fairy tales. You know? Mr. E says, I don't think my beliefs are the same as Meltologists, but it's interesting and something isn't right with history. Either way, it's hard to know the truth about most of history. Well, to Mr. E, all history is fake. And then he goes to say, but I can see that the world has had some kind of reset or history loss. Yeah, there's, you know, you find you know, in different schools of thought about this. My opinion is there's only one event, and what you're seeing is the repercussions of that event going forward from that event. The X Factor event was the event that, in fact, it was the Big Bang. You know, they term the Big Bang that's something that happened outside the dome. No, the Big Bang happened inside the dome. That's why we see what we see in this realm. Yeah, he says, I've been fascinated with megalithic sites. This is Mr. E. Rock cut temples like in Petra. Nothing was rock cut, mate. It's just the event. You're looking at the events of the X Factor, what it did to buildings. All these megalithic structures, you can't get a piece of paper in between the joints. That's because they were all fluid, and then they densified. That's why. India, Baalbek, yeah, no, I've seen all those places, and they're all X Factor damage everywhere you look. Explain this structure to me. Explain how they built this thing. You can't, can you? You can't. Here we go, a little bit more closer. See the damage here. This isn't even lined up. It's expanded. This side is expanded outwards. It's supposed to be straight. Look at the bottom is wider than the top. And the staining, the cooking, it's all X Factor damage. You see this spire? It's green and black, so it's big heat damage. This is scorching here. The top of the wall is scorching. It's been scorched. See the damage here, the brickwork here is evident under the scorching. I mean, you know, when you start looking at places with, you know, the eagle eye, the critical eye, the analytical eye, you start to understand what you're looking at. I mean, this here is been flooded by this huge building behind. You can see this building melted because look at the flow lines. Melted downwards, and the brick flood swept across, and it flooded this area as well. Because what you're looking at here, I mean, these parts here are quite large. This is why they weren't swamped by the brick flood. But these lower lying buildings, these are the tops of them. This is tops of the buildings, sat in flooded by brick flood, which then densified into brick ash. No, there's no mud flood, Mr. E. There's no mud flood. Mud floods, let me tell you, make it very, very easy for you to understand, Mr. E. You show me a brick that can be melted by mud. When you do that, then I'll listen to mud floods. But it's not mud flood you're looking at, like in this picture that you're looking at now. This is brick flood. It's not mud. It's brick flood. You can see the melting on the top of these buildings. See the dripping of the viscous material, the bricks. This is brick flood. It's not mud flood, I'm afraid. Mud cannot melt bricks. Mud can't do this either. If you're saying that this whole area was swamped by mud, then these walls should be still in pristine condition. But look at this corner, it's melted. You can clearly see this corner is melted. See the way the melt came and bulged the bottom? It's flooded inside with brick flood as well. This huge building behind, the red one, caused all of this damage here. Structures here, look, structure here, and it's all brick flood that you're looking at. See the tops of the buildings here. This is so reminiscent of the Giza Plateau as well. Same thing there. Huge buildings melted and flooded the whole area, which is why everything's beneath your feet. That's why archaeologists dig down, because everything's downwards beneath our feet. I'm telling you, you cannot believe mud floods. I don't believe that. I'm sorry, Mr. E, you're going down the wrong road with that. We do not see evidence of mud flood, I'm afraid. What you're looking at is brick flood. And remember what mud is. Do you know what mud is, Mr. E? I'll tell you what mud is. Mud is brick flood, brick ash with moisture. That's what mud is. That's what mud is. And as I said before, mud cannot melt bricks. Again, top of a melted building. Clearly see its bricks. Clearly see the damage. Look at here. Look down here. Look at all the balloon rock in here. And it's on the side. It's on the side. Tell me how sea levels did this, Mr. E. Please be correcting your thinking. We cannot be being drawn into mud flood, because it mud floods. Oh, he said, I don't believe that. Oh. It's not. When I say comet flood, there is evidence of it. It's not a comet. We called it the sun-kissed event, if that's what you're alluding to in China, because that's where it came down. But that's a different show. But please don't keep going on about mud floods, Mr. E. Even if you don't believe in them, because we don't believe in it either. We don't believe mud can do this kind of damage here. Where's the rest of the building here then? To the left. You see the remnants of it, the buildings to the right, the pockets of survival. Where's the pockets of survival to the left? They're melted and flooded over. Look, remnants of a building at the top here. Look, structure here and structure here. Mud flood and sea level cannot do this. But I'll keep giving you the examples, Mr. E, until you understand it was a brick flood and not a mud flood. This brick flood was immense because the buildings were immense. Imagine how big the buildings have got to be if the continents are made out of melted red brick. Come on. Look at this shit here. Look at it. Look how it's melted down. Sunk into the brick flood. Why would you put doors at this level? They weren't at this level. The brick flood came in and flooded the whole area. We have huge buildings melting down into the brick flood and then densifying. Greenland wasn't hit by a comet, Mr. E. The sea didn't cause it, Mr. E. If you're going to come and keep going on with this, you're going to have to leave. No, the pressure and the heat from that didn't do it, mate. I'm telling you, please stop. Yes, it was a global. It wasn't a global destruction. There's no. We're not living on a globe. You see, you're contradicting yourself again and again and again. So, you know, you need to go back and start researching from the beginning, my friend. You're talking about global destruction. There's no globe. We're living on a flat Earth. How can that be a global destruction? Come on now. Don't get Spartan started, because I'm not in the mood for silliness this morning. I'm just showing these pictures, and if you can't grasp what meltology is all about, you need to start again. Again, melted and flooded down. What is he walking on? Is he walking on sand? No, he's walking on brick ash. You know, geologists want to call it sand now, but it's brick ash. Look at this wall. It is sunken into the brick ash, into the flood. It went from a solid to a fluid, then back to a solid again. Look at this here, the demeanour of this part of this structure. Look at it, it's melted. This is sunken brick flood here. Oh yes, of course, Mr. E, your beliefs are yours, but you're making your beliefs known on my stream. So how am I supposed to react to that if I don't believe in your beliefs? Which is why I say people who don't know the concept fully should keep quiet before they start typing stuff, because you're going to be made to look very silly if you carry on, Mr. E. Again, sunken down and melted. Brick flood. Brick flood. Not mud flood. No such thing. And because we see it from every part of the realm, we know. We know what happened here. Right? The causes of it are up for debate. Me, I believe the sun-kissed event. And, You know, we will be expounding on the, going back to the sun-kissed event in subsequent streams as we build, well, I build the evidence up, because we need to have evidence to prove it. I made a start. I think I made a start on it Friday. Yeah, I think I made a start on it Friday when I showed a few pictures of what I collected. You know, it's look. Listen, Mr. E, let me just tell you once again, right? This is not a debate. It's not a Q&A, right? This is the Sunday Easy. I show evidence. I put music on. I relax. I'm not answering your questions. I'm not listening to your theories because they don't make no sense to me. Now, if you don't like that, if you don't like my demeanour, you know what to do. I'm sorry, you know I don't put up with any of this anymore, right? What caused brick flood scientifically? You answer it, because scientifically it's up in the air until we have enough evidence to prove beyond doubt what caused it. We have indications, we have signs of what caused it, but until we can get that definitive proof, you know, you're being a bit naughty asking that kind of question. Are you trying to get divisive on me? Are you trying to get a reaction from me? It's not going to work. Now, my advice to you is, if you don't like what I'm telling you, and you can't understand the images I'm showing you, please go away. Simple. Now, until you've got something positive to say, Mr. E, do not comment anymore. I'm not having it. Sunday morning easy, and it's exactly what it says on the tin. Sunday morning easy. Right, you know, you're telling me mud floods did this. Are you mad? Are you mad? Mud flood did this with all these apertures and columns everywhere. I don't think so. You're talking about resets and this reset and all this reset. It's no, one event, and the event didn't happen long ago. And it's huge building, clearly building, melted, and this pathway is new to accommodate this new accommodation they've put there for the tourists. It's all on brick ash as well. Again, look, it's a dwelling of some sort. I mean, look at the damage to the right here. Look at this here. How did mud flood do that, Mr. E? How did mud flood do that, Mr. E? Oh, okay. I'm sorry, mate. You're off. I keep telling you to stop making these comments of your thoughts, because you know, you're on the wrong track. And now that you know, you're showing me you're on the wrong track, I can be dismissive of you now. You keep saying the same thing to me. Pressure and heat. Yes, it was pressure and heat. It was pressure and heat. But the pressure and heat emanated from below, from the electrical charge, from the overload. And we believe the sun-kissed event caused this piezoelectrical effect to happen in the bricks, which it was like a runaway train with this, because everything was quartz based. I know you're speculating, Mr. Rick. I know you're doing that, and maybe it's just, you know, because I've had all these questions for a long, long time, and this is why we have documentaries put out to answer all these questions. And it's, you know, most of the answers you want are in the documentaries. I know you're not doing it to wind me up, mate. It's just how it is. Yes, the sun. We believe the sun-kissed event, which is where a luminous body came down and hit the ground and vaporized the center of the grid in China. And if you look at it closely, where the dust bowl is in China, you can see there's a huge tidal wave of melt to the right, and a slight smaller one to the left. And in the south, in Pakistan, the whole region is just blown apart there where it came down. And it was caused, it was like a cause and effect. That magnitude of electrical charge hit the grid, and caused a piezoelectrical effect in the bricks, and they all exploded, which is why you see this enormous amount of melt. If you want to go and check out what the electrical theory is, please do. You soon find out it fits perfectly into meltology, not mud flood. Again, look at the huge building, see the staining, it's starting to separate in places, the heat's trying to get out the air, and it's all on brick ash. And we've now got the tourists in now, it's a wonderful location. But you've got to be a rich man to go here because it's expensive. The continents, they're telling you that they move. What about if the melt isn't set? What about if the actual X Factor event wasn't that long ago and the actual melt buildings of continents are not hardened yet? Have you thought about that rather than what you just said? That would explain landslides, earthquakes, and all the rest of it, because nothing's set yet. It's not hardened yet. Again, tops of buildings. Whole area is melted buildings, sat in brick ash, brick flood. Forget it turned from a solid to a semi-fluid and then back to a solid, and when it did, everything that was cooked out fully turned to brick ash. Look, you can see brick lines. See the melt on the top here. You cannot get this from mud floods. You cannot get this from seawater. Right, I'm sorry, it doesn't happen like that. You know, how did seawater get up here and melt this? How did mud floods come and do this to bricks? Because it's obviously part of this building. And just to go back to Mr. E and what my thoughts on geology, well, my thoughts are the same as Sheldon Cooper's. And you know what Sheldon Cooper said about geology? Geology is the Kim Kardashian of science. It's bollocks. It's all lies. Sorry. You know, you can't tell me mud floods did this. You can't tell me erosion and weathering did this. You can't tell me tectonic plates did this, or glacial precession did this, or any other of the stupidity that geologists want to spout out. Tell me how this is sedimentary lines then. Yeah, exactly. When you ask geologists the hard questions, when you start showing them evidence, they back up and they dry up and they blow away, because they cannot answer this, right? They cannot answer it because some do know what happened here. Most of them are just repeaters though, right? They repeat what they were told by their mentors, and their mentors are repeating what they were told by their mentors. And these people make a living out of it. They go to big colleges and universities. They come out with letters after their names, but they're talking about things that don't exist. How can you have 40 different terms for a red brick? How can you have 40 different terminologies for a red brick? And that's not even talking about the categorization of crystals, which are again another form of melted red brick due to heat and pressure, as Mr. E has already said. Yes, I have seen those, Mr. E. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm not saying I haven't been everywhere, because you can never do that, but I have seen a lot, and I have seen those the rock caves. Yeah, you know what, Mr. E, the geological fraternity has had plenty of time to go around this realm and measure and do their core samples and do their laser work, and they still come out with stupidity. So I'm not I don't really care what geology is doing, what they're measuring and what their findings are, because it's always going to be a lie. We always say what we see. We don't have to make up scientific mumbo jumbo to explain away what can't be explained away. Here we go, more. Why does a mountain need columns? Why? Answer me, please. Geologists, why does a mountain need columns? and steps leading up to it, please. Are you telling me they built this? Is that what you really believe? Because I'm going to show you stuff that you ain't, there's no way they could have built it. Again, look, see this here, this is crystallised red brick here, crystallised red brick. This here, with these apertures, and this huge one here and one, and the one below is heat damaged and expanded. But this is crystallised now. And then you've got another state of matter here. Look, the bricks are still here, damaged, but they're still here. This is what it was. This is what happened because of the X factor event. Yeah, they are smoother because they've been melted, and when they set smooth. Can't do it today. Can't do that shit today. No way. Again, you know, they're telling you this is mountain. So how did they put these steps into these mountains? Why would these mountains need steps? Why? And don't tell me, oh, they came in afterwards and did this. Because look at the top of the wall. This is heat damaged bricks here. Heat damaged bricks. If you're building steps, and even the steps have got melt on them as well. Look. Why would you build steps in and then leave all this mess on the top? You wouldn't. In fact, if that mess was there, you'd build so that the inside part of these steps is flush with the wall, not letting the wall expand over the steps. It doesn't fit. And if you look up here, look, viscosity. That is another sign of heat damage, viscosity. Look back here, viscosity. This place was melted. This whole realm has been melted. And just to touch on it before, I'll get another question or comment from Mr. E. The sea level was not at its present as it is now. It was much, much lower. And I believe the sea level, the waters we have now are a huge influx of water from the irrigation systems from these buildings. The old world order were masters of hydronics and semantics and electromagnetism and all the rest of it. So they had water under control. It seems now after the event, the water is not now under control. It's doing its own thing. It's still pumping out in places that it shouldn't be, and there is no answer from academia about why this is happening. Yeah, Mr. E's, he's going across the realm. He was in India a minute ago. Now we're in Egypt, and of course the pyramids are heat damaged buildings, and the whole of the Giza Plateau is flooded. Mr. E is right. There are underground walkways, but everything will be underground because it's sitting underneath the brick flood. I mean, this is cray, this place. Look at the pockets of survival on top of this, behind this platform here, which is also heat damage, and it's in water, which shows you that the irrigation system is still pumping, because I've got pictures where there's no water here, no water. And people say, well, that's not a melted building behind. Well, if it's not a melted building behind, what are these apertures doing here? What are they doing here? What are these apertures doing here? There's apertures up here, ghost apertures here, man. We tell you as we see it. We tell you as we see it, my friends. Look at this huge, it's like a waterfall of melted red brick here, look at it. Coming from here and flowing down in a huge wave. Look at the staining to make out block lines. As I said, I pointed out the apertures here and here, and this here is mad. Hang on a second, guys. I'm just reading Mr. E's. Nah, you believe in science, mate. You believe in science, and science is a whole heap of lie. Didn't science tell you that you can go to the moon? Science told you could go to the moon. Science told you we're living on a globe, which is clearly lies. He says science points to evidence of a cataclysmic event around 11,500 years ago. How'd they know that? How'd they know that? Using carbon dating. Well, if everything's melted, the carbon dating system ain't no good, is it? I know. Mr. E says science got us the internet, can't be all bad. It is all bad, I'm afraid. It is all bad because you know what, this science that they so love to promote is flawed. We clearly see it's flawed. Even in the historical narrative, it's flawed. Big holes in history. Anyway, I'm not gonna keep going on with Mr. E. Otherwise, I'll never get this stream finished. And I can smell my chicken roasting as I talk. Again, here, look, no water around it. Look, no water. But guaranteed, it's melted because the steps just look melted. Just look melted. Again, look, this huge flow of melted brick here. Coming from the top, look how dark it is. Wow. I mean, what causes buildings? This is building here. This is the top of the building here. What causes the rest of the building to look like this? Mr. E is under the pressure now. He's got to go and have a cup of coffee. Oh, you get to it, mate. I've got plenty of evidence to be showing. As I say, this is a review of the Melted Madness stroke chill out zone last night, which I had to host. So if you didn't watch that, this is a little recap from last night. And as I said, it's amazing that we see the pockets of survival on here, and there's nothing else to show its buildings. But you know, we know this is the X Factor has expanded and actually destroyed the rest of this building. Again, another great shot of this place. It gives you this part of this. They want to call it a temple, but I don't. It's grid components, and then whatever happened to this part of it is just totally mangled. And then behind is even more devastation because you can't make out no pocket survival. Maybe up here a piece, a little piece pocket survival up here and back here, but the rest of it is totally cooked out. And again, look at the carbon-14 scavengers, all living off the carbon-14 that has been extruded from the heat-damaged bricks. Come on. How you doing, human? Great to see you, mate. And he says, "What's a guanin? Guanin in the morning." One love ting, burn the herb, chew done die. Spartan, exactly. Burn your tings, mate. It's Sunday. It's for some of you religious fanatics, it's a holy day. But if you check things, really, Saturday is the holy day. But, you know, everything's inverted here. Herb says, "Sniffer, smoke the herb, man." Skin up, said Mr. E. Oh boy, I can't get too lit too early. It's going to be a long day. At my age, I've got to pace myself. Look, you can tell. Look, there's my t-shirt. Granddad has to pace himself now. Not young and reckless anymore. Got to take it easy, mate. Got to take it easy. You see brick lines here. But this is amazing here. Absolutely amazing. These are pockets of survival on the top. And of course, right in front of you, look what happened to the red bricks down here. Look at that small red bricks, chewed up red bricks here. These are turned to huge blocks. See the texture of this one. It shows you. I've been hot. I've been viscous. I've got holes in me. I am a melted red brick turned into a big block. Again, just a big shout out to all the Eagle Eye crew, most of which are still in their bed. It's now 11:30, nearly 11:20. Everyone should be up. I know my American compadres are, probably 4, 5, 6 in the morning, aren't they, over there? And my European guys are all on point. And if you're moving to the east of me and going across, it's the next day. If you're in Australia, New Zealand, around them parts. So I hope you're okay. And it's probably early morning there. And you should have had your notification bell on to alert you that Spartan is going to stream. I keep warning people that I'm liable to stream at any time. If I feel like it, I will. But I do like to do this live stream on YouTube on a Sunday as the Big Easy. We have lots of different comments, and some of them are funny and some of them are, are not. But one thing we don't scrimp on is the bringing the evidence, showing people exactly what we're talking about, giving them examples, and hopefully that inspires them to go out and have a look themselves. Even if they don't go out their front door and they just do their searches on the laptop, they'll soon find out that what we're talking about is 100% true. You know, there's no such thing as mountains. They're all melted buildings. This event wasn't long ago. I suspect very, very recently. I mean, I've got a feeling from what I've seen and these new buildings with all the same damages, these older buildings or older looking buildings, that this event was probably about 300 years ago, something like that. That recent, 300-400 years ago. It's not no 11,500 years ago as Mr. E was indicating. And we certainly didn't have a comet event in, was it Greenland? I've been to Greenland. I've looked at it and it's heat damage. Heat expansion everywhere. Buildings melting like butter. I cannot see any gouge holes or big, you know, where would the meteor come from anyway, Mr. E? You know there's nothing outside the dome. You can't get through the dome, so how did a meteor get in here to cause that damage? Come on now, think logically. Again, look, top of the building here, look, see the remnants here, brickwork at the top, and then it melted and rock curtained over itself. Look, see how it rock curtained over itself. Look at all these pieces back here. Look at the pocket survival here on top of this huge balloon rock. Same here, pocket survival. How did this happen? Mud can't do this, Mr. E. Graham Hancock is what it is. I'll give you, I'll tell you exactly my standpoint on all of these truthers, Mr. E, and it goes for every single one. I don't care if they've got 1 million subs or 1 sub. If they're not talking meltology, I'm not interested. I don't care what Mr. Hancock's doing. If he's not talking meltology, melted buildings, X Factor event, he has no relevance to me. Again, look, come on now. Can you see any mud anywhere, Mr. E? Can you see any erosion? Because if it's erosion, why have we got 2 different altered states of matter? Why have we got the rock curtain here and we can still see bricks here on this part of the grid component? If it was erosion, surely they'd be the same. Erosion can't be that selective that, oh, I'll erode this part of the wall and not erode this part of the building. You know what, please don't keep calling it mud, Mr. E. I'm sure you're doing it to try and get a rise out of me. It's not going to happen, because I'll just keep correcting you. This is not mud. This is melted brick that is building that has rock curtained over itself. That's why you can't see the rest of what's on top is below this rock curtain. Rock curtain, not mud flood curtain, rock curtain. Oh look, Mr. E, look what happened to your mud, Mr. E. No, the grass is not growing on the mud, Mr. E. The grass is growing on brick ash, which is rich in carbon-14, which is why it's so abundant. You know what, Mr. E? You need to smoke your spliff a little bit harder. It's not mud. Mud is brick ash with moisture. I told you that earlier. Clearly, this is the top of the building here. This is top of the building, this is top of the building, everything else has melted and rock curtained over itself. If you look here, you can see bricks. Mud flood can't make this balloon rock here. Mud flood can't alter states of matter, but fervent heat and electrical charge can. Human after all said geologists are mudding their pants, Spartan. Of course they are. Of course they are. Mr. E said, cuz I said I believe in the mud flood, didn't I? I didn't. You're messing about. Yeah, go on, Herb, tell him. Quit whilst you're ahead. You can't be flip-flopping, mate. if you believe in mud flood or you don't. Me, I do not believe it, because I know that mud is only brick ash with moisture, and anyone who wants to tell you different is probably on their 10th booster. It's a joke. It's fun, you know. I'm not trying to be harsh. If that's what Mr. E thinks, that's what he thinks. I'm not trying to change people's minds. I don't have to. I've got nearly 5 years of research behind me to say what I believe, and you know, countless streams, over 500 videos and live streams saying the same thing. Again, look, the demeanour of this grid component is melted. You see the carbon-14 stains on the brickwork. Back here, more grid component, and then all this mass of melt behind. You know, you cannot tell me this is mud flood. It just does not compute. I've already told you what I thought about mud flood, Mr. E, and I told you quite early in this conversation. You know, mud flood is a put-up job. It's a put-up job from truthers that have been paid off, in my estimation. And as we know, and as Jen has said it a few times, and I've said it a few times, mud flood is so 3 years ago, it's unreal. We've moved on from that. Mud cannot melt bricks, I'm afraid. Mud cannot do this kind of damage here. This is all building. And the reason most people don't understand this building, is they don't understand that bricks can alter their states of matter with fervent heat, electrical charge and pressure. Yes, there is plants growing here, but they're living off of the brick flood. They're living on the brick ash, which is has an abundance of carbon-14, which is the mineral that they need to fucking flourish. Come on now, Mr. E. Oh, listen, Mr. E, I've been looking at different perspectives all my life, and it's very quaint that what you just said there. And I always say, do your own research, you know. But when you come to your conclusions, make sure they marry up, because you can't on one hand say mud floods and then on the other hand say global catastrophe, because there's no globe. That in itself is a contradiction in your thinking if you think that. So this heliocentric model is bullshit, as we know. And anyone who's still clinging on to globes, this is not the classroom for you. Clearly see this is a huge building and it's melted downwards, rock coning over itself, so parts of it, as you can see, are not recognisable as buildings anymore. But we still see the pockets of survival on top of the melt, which is very, very good. It's good evidence. Look how the plant work is. The plants, the carbon-14 scavengers are everywhere, because it's all sitting on brick ash. Why do you think that certain regions in the realm are very good for growing wines and olives and all of this? Because the ground is fertile. It's inundated with carbon-14, the minerals, and these plants love it, and they will invest themselves and thrive in these areas. Most people can't make the connection that this is a grid component, and what's behind is the grid component after it's been X-factored, heat expanded. Oh, I'm the same, Mr. E. You know, I can take people's points of view, but I don't have to take their opinions as golden. And especially when their opinions are flawed and based on science that is just gobbledygook. Any balanced individual will take someone's opinion and weigh it up. Does it have any validity behind it? And when it comes to science, most of their hypothesis is made up shit. Jeffrey Bell, yeah, he believes the bad. Exactly. Which is why I always say what I see. It's not about beliefs. It's not about assumptions. It's, you know, why do we have to have beliefs and assumptions to examine stuff? No, you examine stuff with what you see, and then you try and collate it with other areas that you've seen. Oh, right, now I get it, Mr. E. While you're, I mean, please forgive me. I'm looking on a very small screen on my phone because I can't see your comments whilst I'm on the share screen. So Mr. E said, and I'll read it out. My opinion from the start has been I don't believe in mud flood, which is the same as mine. But what was your thoughts on it? And you've constantly said that I believe in mud flood for asking the question. Well, I didn't say you believed in it, but you were, by the way you were throwing down your comments, it seemed that you were trying to say that it was mud flood. But as I said to you, mud can't melt bricks, and so we're all on the same page. Yeah, exactly. Move on, man. We move on. It's no biggie. You know, we know it wasn't mud flood, and you know it wasn't mud flood, and that's the main thing. And as I say to everybody, you know, it doesn't matter where it is, when it is. Can you see the melted building? Can you see it? Most people can't. Most people think that the Romans came along and built this here, which is totally on the wrong page. You know, look at this. This is damaged city here. Damaged city. It's all same thing, melted buildings. You're in one pocket of survival here, everything else is melted out. Plants are everywhere. As you can see by the redness here, that carbon-14 is in abundance. They need carbon-14 water, and with the irrigation systems in these places always flowing, they've got both things. I mean, how do you build steps that are so up and down like this? Why would you do that? This is a heat expansion and steps here. The edge here is sunken down on the left-hand corner. This is melt. This is buildings melting downwards. Fly through some of these pictures. Jeffrey says the Romans. The Romans, or if you're a Martin Ladicki fan, it's the Phoenicians. He seems to be fixated on the Phoenicians now, as well he was before, but I mean, wow. Just right, catch up. Just make sure everything's running, because I've got to keep checking my phone because I can't see the comments. So please bear with me. One man job, you know. Again, look at the dome heat damage here. Look at the damage there. I can see bricks here, bricks, and blocks at the bottom, which is consistent with the heat coming from the bottom, the electrical charge, the heat coming from the bottom, and it turns the bricks, because it's so hot, into blocks. The less heat, the less change in the states of matter. I mean, but here, cooked. What the fuck is this doing here? Let me zoom it. It's those Romans again. The Roman, look, boom. Grid component columns, boom, another piece of grid component there, another piece here. We're going to see it a little bit clearer. Look, why would you build this up here? Why would you build this up here? This is building here, structure here and here. Why is it necessary to put this up there? The whole building melted, and this is what it looks like now after the densification, the instant densification. Here we go. Look at the brickwork down here, blocks, and then behind the blocks, churned up red brick. This is what we're walking on. You're calling it earth. I'm not. I'm calling it brick ash. It's brick ash from the melt. Look here, columns and arches. What is that doing there? And it's the same old question. How did they do this? And why would you do this? Yeah, look. Punk survival right at the top. And then you have this halfway in the melt. Madness. And you know, we will be seeing more and more of this kind of evidence tonight. And please tune in if you can to part 2 of the Sunday Easy, featuring Fervent Heat and Meltologist Finest, James. And I will be in, just jumping in and out whilst the guys get down and start throwing the heavyweight truth bombs. Again, look at the columns. Heat damage. This is all, look at this huge block. Oh man, steps, all heat damage. This is supposed to be pristine red bricks. And please don't tell me about 10,000 years ago, because I'll just start laughing. Explain this shit to me. Explain this shit to me if it's not what we're talking about. Human, after all, makes a very good point here. The Tartarians must have come after the X Factor, though, with their maps showing mountains. Exactly, the melt had already happened. But what we're talking about with the Tartarians is this, I believe. Tartaria was the end of an age. Was the end of an age. So they'd come through the X Factor, and most of their grid components had already been mangled and destroyed. They call themselves Tartarians, but you know, it's a worldwide civilization. So if one part's Tartaria, then the rest of it's Tartaria. It's just that through history the names have been changed, and Tartaria now has been removed from the maps and the histories, and even its insignia has been removed. But Tartaria, I was thinking of it, is just the end of this wonderful, wonderful old world order. The real name of them, how can we ever know? You know, I don't know. Again, please look at all these grid components. Look, a whole row of horseshoe magnets, perfectly set up. Transistor or transducer there in the middle, but look at the melt everywhere. Look at this, is all building you know, it doesn't look like building no more because it's been altered. The states of matter is altered now. Huge areas of melt. It's all sitting on brick flood actually. Mr. E, I couldn't answer it. Are UFOs connected to the old era? Could possibly be, but you know, they're certainly not from out of this realm. They're not from outside of the zone, put it that way. Are they from the altar site hidden somewhere on Earth? From Earth, could well be. There is a strong possibility that there are multiple domes in this realm. That where we are now is one dome, and there could be another dome elsewhere. So all these buildings, are they connected? Yes, they're all connected. Jeffrey says heaps and heaps of structures. Exactly. Incredible way this grid system was. Again, look, in the middle of water. This is tech, and look at what's around it. All melted building. These columns are all damaged. Brick flood on the ground, and again it's collecting water. I mean, you can't get this from mud floods or any of the crap geologists want to throw down your throat. Why is this here? How did you build this in here? If you're thinking that they came here and thought, let's erect a structure. Oh no, let's put half of it in here and let's put the other half in here. But we've got to find something to hold this mountain up whilst we put this building in here. Come on, you joking? How did they hold this up to invest the brickwork here? No way possible. You're looking at the before and the after the X Factor event. Jeffrey says we have only been 50 kilometers above the Earth. We stand on, so everything else is pure speculation. Of course, that overhang is interesting. I mean, we've moved on from that picture. I'm just picking up the slight delay in the comments, but everything's interesting. Everything is you know, has to be viewed with a critical, analytical eye, because we've been lied to so many times and so often. Sometimes you can't tell the wood for the trees. When we look at these places and examine them properly, we can clearly see that it's all heat damage. These are all red brick buildings. The continents are red brick buildings melted. Tops of islands are melted red brick buildings as well. It's just amazing. It's hard for some people to grasp. The programming keeps kicking back in. They keep looking for other excuses to explain it, but you invariably find the most simplest and easiest concept will be the right one. You know, the more complicated you get, is the more you're moving away from the truth. Look here, how did they build this here? Look at this. What is all this here? Come on, look at the bricks here. Look at the brick flood. Look at this wall here, please. Don't tell me anything unless you know about meltology. This is Meltology 101. Exactly, human. We don't know the foundations. They could be. I mean, as we know that Everest is I think it's the second tallest or first tallest, and that is a melted building. And where's the foundations for that? I showed a video and images of a supposed cave, and caves are just the interiors of buildings, that was over 3,000 feet deep. Where does the foundation end? Oh my. And again, huge balloon rocks. This is a melted grid component, and so is this, but look what this is sat on, because don't forget the edge of this melt is over on the top of this. You can see the brick lines. These are huge block lines, melted, squeezed out, squeezing down. See the staining, but above that, look at the edge. This is bricks, heat damaged blocks actually. And on top of that, what you got? You got the brick flood. Of course, Jeff, you're totally right with that. It's miles deep. Everything is deep under us. It is. Everything's below us. Everything is below us, I'm afraid. It shows you how big the buildings are, if the amount of flood is miles and miles deep. Again, here look, more cooked out, heat damage, grid components behind. And these are bulls, B-U-L-L-S, bulls. But look at the damage to them. Look at this one in particular, the first one, how viscous it is. The texture, the grainy look. This is all heat damage. You can't build a building like that. Just look at that for a minute whilst I go and get myself a drink and a cigarette. Hang on, I'll be 2 ticks. Just let this percolate in your mind. 2 ticks, I might be on. I'm busy. Hang on a second, people. YouTube doing its stupidness again. Yeah, I'm back, Pete. Sorry about that. Talking so much, it always makes me thirsty. I should have had a drink sorted before I started, but eager to get on because I've got so much to do today. But again, please tell me how they build this building like this. How did they do it? It's impossible. Absolutely impossible. I mean, yes, what a place to put a temple. What a place. What a place on the edge of a mountain. Tell me how they put the brickwork in here, where I'm circling, where my arrow is. How did they do this? It's impossible. But it's totally possible when you understand that this here is a pocket of survival. The rest of this building, it looks like this shit here. Is this shit. It is this shit. Look. I always say what I see. It's very easy when it comes to meltology. Say what you see. Again, we're starting to believe now that the cross has been stolen from the old world order, and now it's being used as a religious artifact when it wasn't that at all. Again, a church in the middle of nowhere, a piece of melted building in the middle of nowhere, and look, melted buildings all around. Why would you put this here? Where's the congregation coming from to visit this place? Uh-oh. Notice the tower at the top part of the tower is leaning. It's another leaning tower, imagine that. Oh man. I love finding this evidence because it's a great big fuck you to geology. Right? Great big fuck you to geology. Look, let me show you something here. Up here on this part of this dome, brickwork looks good. You get to here, look what's happened to the bricks. Don't look nothing like the bricks above. And if you look at these, the bricks that's on these, this heat expanded part here, they're blocks. It's gone blocky here. My bloods can't do that. Look here, the expansion on the floor. Look how this white lot of bricks have gone up here under the expansion. Oh man, sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but I do mean to laugh. And look, there's the Eagle Eye crew swooping down, surveying all it can survey, and coming to the same conclusion: it's a melted building, melted grid component, and the same as this. Looks like a biograin type of facility, says Jeffrey. Could well be. I mean, the applications of these buildings, unless we were there, we can't really put a pinpoint finger to what types of buildings did what. But they all had a functionality. They weren't just all living abodes, obviously, but what we see, they weren't. They're more conducive to grid components. And if you look at this one, it's got the Kaiser Wilhelm helmet with the spike at the top, which is tech, and these have all got tech on the top too. Look at the damage to these smaller bits of the grid component, and it's in brick flood. This is brick ash here. Move on. Oh, another one, totally different place, but look, there's another one. Don't that look like this one? Look, let me go back. Oh dear, it does. Rather. Look. Straps to the bricks. The tech on the top is fried as well. And then we've got these pieces are fairly good order. But this one, you see the heat damage here. And the concrete molds here. This is concrete mold. We see places over and over again. There's certain places I've seen plenty of, but when you see places over and over again, then you get a new picture that you haven't seen before. I have to put it up. I haven't seen this angle of this place before. Again, look, the tech here is incredible. Concrete moulds are incredible, but what's even more incredible, let's see bricks up here. Bricks. See how they're very compressed here, a viscosity here. But what's even more impressive is this. You've got parts of the building still attached. That's an aperture, and it's expanding away from this itself, so it's sticking out. And then look at the top. This is some kind of wall, a wall on top. You see how it melted and rock curtained down, because you can see beneath it the grey stuff is cooked out bricks. Anyway, I hope you're liking the Rare Groove music, because that's a tank, said Jeffrey. Maybe. I'm not discounting anything. We say what we see. If that's what you believe, Jeffrey, then it could well be. Everybody's eyes can be different. Everybody's eyes can pick up stuff differently. But one thing that's not in doubt is the amount of red bricks that were used in conceiving and erecting these buildings and stuff. I don't think we haven't got a number to get near to how many bricks were used in this realm. You're tuned into the Sunday Easy. Like, share and subscribe. Share the link. We need more feet on the red brick road. You can't tell me they built it like this, can you? Not happening. Not fucking happening. Sorry. Uh-oh. We say big buildings melted, and here's a classic example. I showed this picture maybe 2 years ago, and it was on a different search engine, using a newer, better, more easy to use search engine. Now, and we're getting the quality pictures. This shows you buildings melted, red bricks melted, and what was left is now looking like a mountain. Wow. And there's been plenty of shots of this place. Plenty of shots of this place, but I like the shots that other people are not using, because it shows the damage. Like what I'm picking out shows the damage. I mean, is this steps? But look at the bottom. I mean, this is incredible melt here. Look at the edge of the melt here. Look, I'll trace it with my pointer. Look, see the edge? And then this is brick flood. The sand was a liquid. It was brick flood intensified, but the damage here is incredible. Look, rock curtain here. These are apertures here. Brick line here. Viscosity here. See it start to open up, stretch apart. This part here is going to look like this down here, so it would have looked like this, stretched open. The same is happening above. Aperture there. Wow. This is what we call victory evidence. Because it proves the point. It proves the point that what we're saying, that buildings melted. There's no such thing as mountains. You're mistaking mountains. You're not seeing that they were actually buildings. I've said it before, it's the goddamn Planet of the Apes here. You know what, anyway, this is not about me giving explanations. It's just to review the evidence, put it in a shorter format than the 3.5 hours I did yesterday, so that more people can actually be aware of the evidence of the melting madness that was on last night. Some people can't understand or even see the obviousness of this. See how it's tilting, it's melting. This is the melt of this building here. This is the melt of this building here. Picture speaks 1,000 words, don't it? Look at this heat expansion. This is heat expansion. Heat expansion. Why is it not level like the rest of them? The rest of this level, it's been affected so much by the electrical charge and the heat. It's expanded all the way out. Oh, Big Jimmy's in the house. How you doing, Jimmy? Glad you can make it into the Sunday Easy, where we don't do anything too hard, which is what really I was trying to get through to Mr. E. We're not looking to make explanations today. We're just looking at evidence. We're listening to some nice rare groove, just chilling, biding our time for part 2 tonight, because it's going to be a good show tonight. The boys that couldn't get in last night, but they'll be on tonight for sure. And you know what Dino the Machino's like, and the Chicken Wing Killer from Manila. You know what they're like. It's going to be a heavy show, and I'm not going to be showing any evidence of mine tonight. Excuse me. So love, blessings, brick love to you, Jimmy. I hope you're having a wonderful day. We've got bright sunshine here in the UK at the moment. It's just coming up to midday, 12 o'clock. So perfect timing on my part to get this stream up and running. So we've got to get through this evidence. We've still got nearly 100 pictures to go roughly. Again, look, top of the building here, melting downwards. Clearly, melt. You know, and some of you we can't, oh, where is it? It doesn't matter where it is. It doesn't matter, because everywhere's the same here. If you see this part of this facade, the facade of the building here is melted, and it is buckling and twisted, and it is sinking down into the melt at an angle. See the edge of it, see the bottom here? It's cooked out. That's why it looks like this. The brick flood actually came up to here. It has receded, the brick flood has receded. That's why you've got the damage here at the bottom. That's why the door looks the way it does, the entrance. Look, you can tell the brick flood came here. See the line of it, not here, where I'm tracing. Brick flood. This is where it went. How high up it went. Yeah, in impossible builds, in impossible locations. What I like is that you've got the internal walls with the brickwork still intact, but here, you don't see this on the outside because it's flooded. Again, look, there's a big component there. This part of this little piece of town is flooded. This is all brick flood that's around. All brick ash. Again and again and again, over and over. We keep seeing it, we keep saying it. There are no mountains, they are melted buildings. You know what, Spartan Red always likes to bring the heat. And I don't bring wishy-washy. Right? I don't bring wishy-washy, inconclusive, I'm bringing you conclusive proof. Until geologists can answer what happened to this building, why this building looks like this, they've got no relevance and no credence. They've got no relevance and no credence because they can't answer the question, what happened to this building, why does it look like this? In fact, how did they do it, how and why did they do this? You tell me how logistically possible it is to build this on top of this. It's not possible. Another angle, which is even more conclusive, because you've got the pockets of survival here. Look, one there, this is pocket survival. Look at this walkway here, this step. It's going up at an angle. Look at the damage here to the sides of it. Brickwork has expanded. It now looks like bloody your mosaic here. Oh man, these tunes are just so sweet. Don't make them like this no more. Made for dancing, not prancing. You know, this is the type of music you grab your baby and you start rubber dubbing. I mean, my wife's passed away, bless her soul, so I miss her in that aspect. But man, we've had some music. We had some music in the past, mate. It crushes anything that's around now. Got brick lines, block lines here, pockets of survival above, apertures. You see it all the time. This is why we know this realm suffered the damage it suffered, and it couldn't have been any other way apart from heat, fervent heat from below, electrical charge. Again, look, cooked out. Look at the damage here in the central part, centre of the peak. Look, back to the bricks. And then this tower here is just a shell. The actual brickwork has gone, and you're looking at churned out red bricks with no skin on them. The skin of the outside shell is gone. Just more conclusion of this comment. It's just him. Mad melt. Mad melt. And again, I've seen a few people say this, oh, it's made of mud, they're mud buildings. If they're made of mud, then let's look here then. What's this? Under this covering, coating. This coating might be mud where it's been repaired. But look here, brick lines. Uh-oh. Inconvenient truth again. Yeah, look, tower, cooked out. Still see the brick lines. But these are churned out bricks, there's no skin on them. So move on a bit quicker. Look, balloon rock coming up the side of the building. Right here. And it is bricks, you see bricks here. Bricks. Nothing but bricks, damage here. It's all red bricks. All these buildings are based on the red brick. Not only do we have this damage here in centre peak, look at the wall. Look at the wall. These are supposed to be perfect rows of red bricks. But they are far from that now. See the bricks here. But there's no skin on them. The skin's been cooked off. Yeah, Jimmy. Jimmy says, always enjoy hanging out with Spartan and the Eagle Eye crew. True evidence of our past. Exactly. This is our history we're looking at here, not his story. His story is a load of bollocks. This is our story here. This is what happened to us. Right. We've had enough of his story, and his story's full of holes. Look at the damage. The bricks, back to the bricks. This is all red bricks. Not anymore. Altered states of matter here. Yeah, the same place. Look at the top. This is what they call the elephant skin look. Elephant rock, they called it. I mean, geologists, they've done a disservice to us. Deflected us from the real truth of this realm. Again, see up here? I just want to point something out because you're not understanding how big these buildings are, I don't think. I want you to look here. Let me just pull the picture down a bit. Right, up here, top left, we can see tracks, tyre tracks. So this is where we're driving, walking, up here. This is where we are. This is where we are, up here, on top of the melt. Look what's below us. Look what is below us. This brick flood was enormous. I'll keep telling you that. It was enormous. What does this to buildings? Mud flood can't do it. Erosion? No. Tectonic plates? No. None of the other stuff that they want to shout. It doesn't work here. What works is buildings melting and expanding. That works. Look here. I mean, this is just incredible damage here to the left of this portion of this building. And look at the balloon rock starting to happen around the door. Look, and you can tell it's melted. Look, you can go down. There's a hole there. An aperture. That was an aperture. A doorway, a window or something. An archway. All the same. Huge line. And the churned out stuff below. Yeah, you can tell he's a geologist because he's looking at stuff, but he's not looking in the right place. Looking downwards, which is a good place to look because it's obviously damaged now. It goes down, look, see here? It goes down under this melt. But these are block lines and brick lines. Clearly, all states of matter. You've got 3 kinds here, 4 kinds actually. You've got this kind here, which is the brick line that runs to here. Then you've got bricks that have been heat expanded, turn blocky. You've got even more blocky here and more balloon rocky here. And then you've got brick ash, which is another state of matter. What happened to the building? Look at the bricks. Look here. Look here. Look at this shit here. I can't emphasise it enough. This is a very good example of what happened to these bricks. This is brick line from here. And look how different the top is to here. This is heat expansion. Bricks heating up and compressing together, forming huge block lines. And then starting to open up. Brick ash everywhere. Hang on a second, I just want to make sure. My phone is running a little bit slow behind, that's why. Nothing wrong, it's just me panicking. I panic when I don't see the pictures moving on my phone. I'm thinking I'm stalled up, but I'm not. Anyway, back to the evidence. This is the classic example that people don't understand. They won't understand this. Right. We've got the outside wall of this building still intact. You know, it's about 3 or 4 courses of bricks deep, but if you look at the edge here, these are all expanded. Now, the towers, the domes are all damaged and heat damaged. But what you've got here is the bricks are actually churning and expanding. Right? They've churned and expanded so much that they've pushed this corner so that this part of the wall is moving to the right and leaning slightly, and this front part of this building is pushing to the left, which is why you've got the kink here, because it's pushing outwards this way. My arrow, this way's going this way, which is making this come forward, and this is sat back, so the level should be here. My arrow is, that's where it should be, it's down and pushed to the right. The expansion from the churned out bricks is actually destroying the building from the inside. That's what's happening there.
Herb says sniffer. Herb sniffer says.
Be right back. I love that name. I wish I'd thought of that. Again, look at the churned out nature of the bricks. Internal bricks are churned out. Just left the shell of the outside wall, and that is being slowly pushed because of the expansion. See red bricks everywhere here on the ground. Brick ash everywhere. Start to understand that these buildings are kind of self-damaged themselves with this expansion in the internal brickwork. This is twisting and going that way. This is twisting and going this way. It opened up this corner. Look at the churned out nature. It opened up this corner with the expansion. Oh my. My. Sunday Easy. Nice tunes, easy relaxed style today. Hope everyone's having a blessed Sunday. Joining the stream late, red card. You should have had your notification bell on. I keep saying it, I'm liable to stream at any moment. Anyway, look at this. This is the top of the dome building, and as I said, the bricks form a shell. Behind the shell of bricks, we have the churned out, damaged red brick. Clearly, you can even see a piece of this brickwork here in the debris here. But what's another interesting part is down here. Look, there's an archway all the way down here. Look how low it is compared to this. And it's all heat expansion over bricks here. Red bricks! It shows how good the chill out zone is, mate. We can bring evidence, new evidence, every single night. Every single night. That's how widespread the damage is. And we've done 8-hour streams, 6-hour streams, 5-hour streams, you know. And we're all showing different evidence every night. It's marvellous. It's marvellous. Again, look. All this is cooked out brick. All this is melted building here. Clearly, because here, you can see the bricks here at the bottom. See the top's all cooked and melted. The bottom part, bricks, brick ash. Come on. Come on now, you don't want to be DTS. DTS, don't be DTS. You know what DTS is? Dumber than dog shit. DTDS, sorry. I have to be careful because it's copyrighted, I believe. I can't have people going around the community telling them I'm stealing stuff. Wow. Oh, what a tune. When I lay my body down. Ooh. Tune. See, everything's blocky. Look at this corner, all pieces of brick, and you've still got the mortar lines here, look. Wow. Internal part of the wall, look. Outside blocky. So the inside part is chewed up and churned. I'm sorry if you hear any noise. My neighbour's child is just up and running about, and they're numbskulls. They don't know what they're doing. So I'm sorry about the noise. I've showed this place before. I just wanted another look at it. A classic example. Look, columns here done. One column here. The rest of it's done. Melted brick everywhere. This is internals. Look. It's supposed to be red bricks. Perfect red bricks, but they're far from perfect. Look at these columns. Where are they gone? Look at the columns. Support columns, but they're like midget support columns now. Melted downwards. Please. See these massive bricks all the time, these buildings with like 10 courses of bricks wide in the walls, and it's amazing that they built like this, but they didn't. They built like this. Look here, this one here at the back, these archways that's melted, stuck in brick flood, melted into the brick flood. See what I say about the churning out of the interior of the walls? The core in the walls is always churned out like this. The exterior and interior walls are just skins. They are like an eggshell. Exactly, James. Brick and brick melt damage is everywhere because the whole realm was based on that. The whole grid was based on it. Up here, we've got very disturbed bricks here because they're not following the brick line pattern. They're all popping out, and then next to it we've got churning, all churned up, all in the same building. My mind. I mean, look at it. All the bricks are damaged here, every single one. What does this to a building? Excuse me for a minute, I've just got to check my oven. Hang on a second. But feast your eyes on this. sorry about that, peeps. I just had to flip my chicken over. Sunday roast. I always have a Sunday roast. And it smelled like it was cooking merrily, and I'm glad I caught it then because I wasn't burnt. Well, not burnt, but it wouldn't have been perfect. I like my chicken perfect. Again, look, what I just say, we have an outside shell of bricks that are damaged, but the inner core of the building is messed up. It is muffed up, as Jen would say. Me, I say it's churned up. I don't like the word muffed. Yeah, middle of nowhere, pocket of survival. Look what happened to the bricks, to the roof. It's very evident, not brick there, boom. We'll move on. I like to get the conclusive evidence and moved on. Again, look at the black and white, we see it quite regularly in these buildings. Again, look at the roof. Heat damage. No mud floods here. Yeah, so please remember, the Big Easy Part 2 is on tonight, featuring James and Dino, Meltology's finest, and Fervent Heat, with a little smattering of fairy dust and glitter and wonder, with Spartan Red jumping in and out tonight, 10:30 PM UK time. Please jump in, it should be a very, very good show. Uh-oh. See this? People won't understand what this is, but this here is the same as that's what's behind. This is a tower here. This is a tower. You know, you've got your four corners on a car cell. Normally a tower on each corner. Same here. There's one there. Still got the structural look to it. You know, lines and right angles here, even though they're expanded. And the one at the back here. This one was so viscous it twisted down on itself. Twisted down on itself. It's supposed to be way down here, like this one is. But you've got a ring of balloon rocks that went round it. Those all these balloons go all the way round. This is a tower. Doesn't look like one, but it is. Look at it. And it's been cooked like you wouldn't believe, because it's white, very crystallised. It's the same everywhere. This is Egypt, and you've got, you know, well-known Egyptologists and well-known supposed experts, and they can't tell you what this place is. They can't tell you why these bricks look the way they do. They just say it's old, it's weathering, but they never explain why these bricks are popping out. What's all this melt here on the top? What's all this melt here? Wow. So this is just a review of the evidence that I showed last night, just quickly flicking through pictures and stuff, and, you know, randomly talking and stuff. I know I've been doing a lot of talking, but really the pictures speak for themselves. I mean, I shouldn't really have to be saying anything. To the uninitiated, it's not like I'm speaking to, you know, the greater outdoors. It's Eagle Eye Crew and its affiliates, all other meltologists. I'll just shout them out, meltologists. Hope you continue your fine work, whichever avenue you're pursuing, to bring truth to the people, because it's sorely needed. We need something to galvanise us to stop this division, and it's so sweet to see that you know, the Eagle Eye Crew is we're all under the same meltology umbrella, and from that standpoint we can start asking questions, because we start to become a very, very solid group. What happened here then? What happened here then? This happened here, and this to the side, flooded. This building flooded this. This is why it is looking the way it is, because it's flooded with brick flood from this and this, and its grid components. The domes everywhere, the horseshoe magnets everywhere. Look, horseshoe magnet, dome, columns, more horseshoe magnets behind it. Definitely old world order grid. Here's another grid component that's seen better days. It's very, very heat damage. Look, this is part of the building here, the wall. Balloon rocks, the arch, the dome. The dome has got damaged up. This part is heat expanded outwards as well. Sat in brick flood in the middle of nowhere. Of course, look what's around it. Just more melted buildings. Oh, don't let it go to your head, mate. I never do. I never know. You see, this is transient to me. I don't hold on to anything because we're always in a state of flux. Everything's moving from one place to another. That's what frequencies are like. Everything's moving. I'm moving, but I'm moving so slowly you can't perceptibly pick it up. A bit like that guy from Star Wars when he's standing there saying, I've mastered the power of invisibility. I move so slow you can't see me. But we can certainly see this melt here, and we certainly see that this place is sunken down into brick flood, and it goes on for miles. And this isn't the culprit. What's the culprit? It's back here. This range of buildings is the culprit for all this melt. See, look, the brick lines are going vertical here. See them? Vertical. Damage from the bottom. Heat rising from the bottom, as we always see. Now, if you think the buildings were plugged into the grid system, then it would make sense that the heat came from the bottom, because it was the grid that created this huge, powerful electrical surge. This is a rock curtain here. Rock curtain here. Fragments of pockets of survival underneath. This is all A-frame here. Pockets of survival on top of the A-frame. Look at the brickwork that's here. All heat damage. All heat damage. There is no building this. This is remnants. This is the leftovers of this event. Again, you're looking at remnants of the past, of the old world order. This is what became of it. It was annihilated out of existence by this X-Factor event. And look at the misshapen dome here, look. Look at all of this. This is all melt. See this is a red brick that's undergone heat expansion here, right at the bottom. All the bricks on the ground are heat expanded, look like mosaic tiles now. It's heat expansion. Everywhere we look, everywhere you cast your eye. I might even just stop the show right now. I might even just stop the show right now just on this picture alone. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Oh my word. Look at that. Look at it. You have to remember that we're in the hands of the controllers, the inverters, and they will do their hardest to try and obscure the past from you, obscure your history, and supplant it with their history. And we've got a case of this substitution of the real for the fake right here, right? I won't expand it until I get to the right picture to expand it. But just keep that in mind. We've got old world order buildings and we've got new world order cranes in here, right? So just remember that. We'll just move on until we get to the right picture. James said, boom! Wait, let me get to the right picture and explain it a bit more, James. Okay, look at these domes. I mean, this dome here is cray. Look at the roof. Look at the dome itself, made of bricks. They're all made of bricks. Look at the damage. And then this one here is painted, that's all it is. It's been painted, but it's bricks. Bricks. So it's all bricks. Look how blocky it is at the bottom. Heat damage. Horseshoe magnets, it's a grid component. Oh my, as as nice as it is to look at, it's damaged. We'll get again more of the same. Look, grid component. This the dome on this one is totally misshapen. This one, the dome's totally gone. And here we have one that's kind of intact, but it's still damaged. Look at the columns. Look at the columns. Look at the columns at the bottom. It's sunken into the melt. It's high here and low in the melt here. Great. Look at the edge. Look at it's all bricks. Oh my. And it's old world order. Look at the ground here with all these pieces stuck in the brick flood. Look at the edge here, it's viscous. Man. Oh man. Point of fire. Greetings, blessings, one love, brick love, untold love and respect from the UK going out to my friends in Scarborough, Toronto. How you doing? Glad you could jump in on the stream. We're just doing a review of last night's evidence that I showed in Melted Madness stroke chill out zone. Just on a Sunday tip, you know, no, it's not serious, it's not really deep probing, we're just looking at the images. I make a few comments. And just to ease you into the part 2, which will be 10:30 tonight, PM, UK. Please get in if you can get in. It's going to be a good show. Again, these pieces here, huge blocks here, and you can tell that it's been flooded over just by the look of it. Look, there's the Eagle Eye crew flocking around. There we are, flocking around, investigating this place because it's a wealth of meltology evidence. Yeah, look at the bottom of the columns. This stucco has been removed, burnt off. Still got some little bits of tech on the top here, but you know, for all intents and purposes, is dead, Monsieur is dead. Oh man. Now this ties into what I'm going to talk about with that other building that we saw earlier, about how they try and make these old buildings refurb and then they try and tell you they built them. Right? These cranes, they try and tell you they built this place. Look at the domes, look at the arches. This is all old world. There's no way they built this. And I'll prove it in a minute. Next picture. How'd they do this? This is all this is the top level which goes down. See the columns go down, keeps on going down into the melt. These cranes are there to try and fool you into thinking that they built this. And in a way they are building it because they're repurposing it. See, this dome has been stripped and now they're going to try and reskin it. Same with this, they're trying to reskin it. This is probably damaged, well damaged, and they thought, well, let's invest, make it into a tourist attraction, and they'll redo the top of it. But this here, this is all brick flood inside. These columns, these horseshoe magnets with the domes on top is old world order, 100%. So now trying to put a narrative on these old buildings, trying to fool you into thinking that they built them. No, they're just, as with everything, they find it, repurpose it, and then charge you to go there. Here's this place again. These are bricks here, heat damage bricks. I mean, to build this, you can't even build this nowadays, I'm afraid. These cranes are here just to refurb this place. They're not building this structure at all. And we're going to prove it again in a minute. Here's the proof. Look at this. This is a wonderful, wonderful arrangement, and it just smacks of old world order grid component. It just smacks of it, 100%. But what's very interesting is what this grid component is sat on, considering we know that everything was a grid component and the grid system, the motherboard, overheated and caused it to melt. Look at the amount of brick ash here. Right. Where did this come from then? This is the remnants of this building is underneath it, as we always see. See, they've cut themselves a ramp to get their trucks and shit in here. But the cranes are there to deceive, to make you think they built all of this, when in actuality they're just refurbing this central, I believe this is a dome as well. But look at the design of this place. You telling me we make stuff like this now? No way. You're talking about a structure with a dome on the top, and then domes inside the archways of this place. It's great. This is old world, 100%.
Herb Sister says peace and love from Bournemouth, UK.
That's south of me, my mate. I'm in Oxford, Herb Sniffer. I'm in Oxford, and it's a fine sunny day, actually. Fine sunny day. Again, all the green components. When the event happened, there was no water here, so these were connected, just like you see these. Let me go back. Look, all connected. Only difference is this part of the grid was away from them, and then when the event happened, the water came in afterwards, rose and flooded it. So now it looks cut off, and it looks incredible that it should be here. But when you realise the water wasn't here to start with, then it's not so incredible. Not so incredible at all. It's logical if you have rising sea level, and the rise in the sea level, I believe, is due to these buildings and their vast irrigation systems. Now the water's running wild. Before the water was controlled, but now it's not controlled in such that it just rose and flooded everything. And you never know, there might have been a guy in the wheelhouse who shut it off, and we're just left now with the flood. Again, towers to the domes, grid components, here and here.
Herb says, Oxford, not too far away.
Yeah, not that far. When I used to do my my own courier business, I used to drive to Oxford. Bournemouth. I've been there a few times. Very nice place, Bournemouth. Yeah, look at this. I mean, we do not build like this. We do not build anything like this ever. And if we did, what is the purpose of it then? What is the purpose of these incredible buildings here? Look how they're anchored in. You see the infrastructure here with the you're going to call them windows, I'm going to call them ventilation. How they're anchored in the centre with another big piece of building. It's great. We don't do this. We do not build like this, I'm afraid. And you can see huge blocks in them anyway. And I've seen brickwork in it as well. Here, look, you can see the brickwork here in these parts. Bricks, blocks. How do we build like this? We don't. These fuckers here in their cranes are just throwing you off the scent. More domes inside of buildings now. Look at the size of these arches, incredibly big. These are not for us. We come to about here. We come to about here on these blocks. These are for the big people. I say big people or big vessels. For the bigger vessel. Oh man, look at the domes on this baby. Dome City here. I mean, the steps. Incredible that this kind of design. What I found was interesting is melted here in the central part under all these apertures. But look, you've got an arch here with 3 apertures, and then the next one's closed. Then the next one's open with 3 apertures, and the next one's closed. It's mad. When it's green, it's seen X-factor damage. Just want to point out these apertures are all closed. They're all expanded outwards. I'll zoom it so you can just see the outside texture. You see the bulging in it. The bulge of the melt coming out as the bricks turning viscous and churning and bulging out. Look here, bulging, bulge. It's all bulging out. The whole of the interior is trying to get through these archways. It looks very brittle here, very blocky. Again, Dome City. You need all these domes for? You need all these fucking domes for? Great. I believe some of this tech is still working and working quite well. Look. tower dome. This tower is lit. Herb Sniffer says, loving the soul music. Yeah, it's Rare Groove Sunday, mate. Rare Groove Sunday. I love it. I love it. It just calms me right down. James says, Meltology is the cutting edge of truth of our reality. I'm glad I'm here to witness the birth of a new science, a true science. Well said, James. And you're totally correct. And it opens so many doors. It will open so many doors that have been closed that we can't get past. It will open them all because it is like the foundation of the truth of what happened here. Oh, look, people said a pile of mud. And in effect, it's mud, it's brick ash, so it's brick ash. But we've still got bricks on top, look. Bricks. And just so you know, zoom in. Brick lines under the stucco's melted. Look, brick lines, oh my. Bricks, it's all melted bricks, I'm afraid. And here's my little bit of fun with the Eagle Eye crew, because we've got the the flying donkey theme going every day. This poor bugger's had enough. He's got his head up. He said, I'm not lifting another fucking block, another brick, or any more gravel. He says, I've had enough. I'm having a day off, mate. These fucking bricks are really heavy. Again, it's a donkey sanctuary. And, my boy's up on the top having a rest with his muzzle on. And the donkey stood in front of what? Look, melted bricks. Look. Oh my. It's funny to me the way that we keep going on about donkeys and stuff, and here they are in the melt, standing on, near or by melted building. Great. See, these are the what we call the millennials. They got no wings now, they can't fly, so they have to just do all the hard work by foot. Blocks behind, oh man. All brick ash, of course. I mean, it's all brick ash. Standing brick ash. Again, another one that don't look too happy. He's probably been working since morning. But look, this is a block line. You see a little piece of brick in it here. This is all pancakes and compressed brick lines as well underneath this block line. Brick ash is what he's standing on. Flying donkeys. From flying donkeys to grandma having a contemplative 5-minute break from the family. So she goes outside, sits on this little brick ledge with bricks that are in a very odd pattern. You see the stucco here is still on. You see the bricks are underneath at the corner are damaged. But look here. Granny, you're living in a melted building. Look what's happened to your building, Granny. Oh well. She said, I've known it all my life, it won't hurt me. Of course it won't. Well, he looks like a champion donkey. But he's standing on brick remnants of brick building, the brick wall here. It's cooked at the top, you can see the top's cooked. And melted building behind with the A-frames of that. Blowing her mind. Here we go, and they went in 2 by 2. 2 by bloody 2, all standing on melted building, of course. See, told you, went in 2 by 2. Look what they're standing on. What they're standing on, melted building. Standing on melted building, the background's melted building as well. Oh my. These donkeys certainly got a nose for bricks. These two ain't donkeys, they're horses of course, but just want to show the melt back here. Wall is damaged. James says, I love the donkeys. I went from all different animals. We now have camels. But you know me, I'm concentrating on the melt, so when I see this I've had to grab it. I mean, look, they're huge blocks here. The top is small pieces, and these little cut off columns are all melted red brick, brick ash everywhere. And the donkey saying, fuck me, I'm glad I'm not a donkey. The camel saying, fuck me, I'm glad I'm not a donkey, I'd have to put all this shit up here by myself. This one's in retirement, and he's in retirement because he built his own stable out of melted red bricks. And of course you can recognise it's an arch with the fused melted brick on the top this side and this side expanded out. And where's the rest of it, I may ask? Where's the rest of it? Very good question. EEC can answer it though. This tower here, it's damaged, and the bricks are damaged, but it's the same as this. This is more damaged. Same as this, more damage, leaning back onto the wall. These slits are apertures that have heat expanded inwards. Towers to the dome. Towers to the dome. Again, just to prove that it's not all about this. Oh, it's mud. They might have put a mud coating over the top, but you cannot hide what's underneath. Bricks, red bricks, it's bricks. Come on now. You know the whole realm is red bricks. Brick ash everywhere on the ground. All melt. This is made of red bricks, and so are all these here, and all these behind it. Thank you very much. Case closed. As Colombo would say, case closed. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed that little review of the evidence from last night's show. As I said, I will be on later on with part 2. We'll be on later with part 2, so please watch out for that, 10:30 tonight. With Fervent Heat and Meltology's Finest. And also, I believe Alchemist 83 will be in because he wanted to show some stuff last night, so expect him in. And you never know who else might be available. It's still early yet. People might free themselves up to come on and show some evidence. So it should be a good show. I won't be showing any of my evidence, but I will be showing a different form of evidence from other people tonight. So watch out for that. I'll be doing the research after I've had my lunch, because I can smell my chicken big time. Anyway, Eagle Eye Crew, it's been a real pleasure just to jump on and get the evidence out again. Yeah, it's a nice little format that I enjoy. So there'll be many more. So make sure your notification bell is on for when I do go and do a YouTube live stream. Again, a big shout out to all Meltologists and all Eagle Eye Crew. I hope your day's blessed and some of you can get into the chill out zone tonight. Remember, we are the survivors of the survivors. Please take care of yourselves and please take care of one another. It's vitally important. We can only rely on each other, which is why I like the Eagle Eye Crew, because we do, we do love each other, we do care about each other, and we do want the best for each other. And as we do for everybody, it's Meltologists as well, those that we talk to and some that we don't. We all want to pass the positive vibe around between everybody. Anyway, the noise level from above is starting to pick up, so I'm going to shoot off now. But please remember, we are on again for part 2 of the Sunday Easy 10:30 tonight. Spartan Red out.